Well, Mary Lou Newbold, how are you this morning?
I'm well. I'm well. I
Well,
understand it's cold, but we're going to be fine.
well, most of Canada is on fire because of what's happened with Trump and the Americans, and Team Canada wants to buy local and they want to buy Canadian goods. And I thought we need to hear from you. Not only are you the CEO of Mayfair Optometric Clinic, but you're the president of Think Local First Victoria. So, folks are going into, I've heard this all around, going into the stores when they can get through the snow, and they're saying, where can I buy Canadian? And even the stores are putting signs up. And so even beyond that, if they want to buy Canadian and buy local, which they should do, they should actually be referencing and thinking about your organization. Kind of give me a sense of what you do and how do they get that information?
Well, Think Local First Victoria has an excellent website. We have 148 members. To be a member of Think Local First, you must be owned locally. We now have a second stream where the ownership percentage doesn't necessarily have to be local, but you have to be a community champion. And so we do have some members now that have outside of local interests, but the
Yeah.
Bay Center is an excellent example. Darlene, the GM down there, is a true community champion.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're locally owned,
Yeah.
doing business, owning property, paying employees, supporting little league,
Yeah.
minor hockey, all of those things. So there's 148 members. They're listed on our website.
Yes.
And when
Fabulous.
you go to the website and you check them all out, there's a link to everyone's website. So it's super easy by going through the Think Local First site to get to our members.
Well, this is much appreciated that you take a couple minutes here to explain how Canadians, British Columbians, Victorians can access local businesses because more than ever, we want to do that. We want to diversify away from American businesses and support our local businesses. We will have the website all over the place. This is much appreciated, and we will let folks know and encourage them to shop with these fabulous companies.
And John, I have to say it always astounds me that we have to get mad or there has to be a crisis to support local. These
I know,
businesses have been in our community for generations,
I
right?
know.
And so I always give my head just a little bit of a, I try not to get too, but
Annoyed, annoyed by
annoyed,
that. I
right?
know.
Honestly, but I appreciate it, and now is the time, and I appreciate you taking the time to let me speak to this. We, what I issued a statement this morning asking for a suggesting a 30-day challenge. It
Okay.
takes 30 days to change a habit,
Yep.
and so we have 30 days. We don't know what's going to happen in 30 days, whether we're going to go through the same stress and chaos that we did yesterday and over the weekend. That could start again.
Yep.
But if in this next 30 days, if we all just consciously looked at where we're shopping, what we're buying, and being thoughtful. And when I say being thoughtful, what I mean is a lot of businesses are holding inventory that they've already purchased. Please don't punish people and leave them hanging with this inventory they've already paid for. Let's take 30 days to clear it out.
Yeah.
Let's help these businesses. The Americans already have their money for that product. You're
Yeah.
not punishing them by not purchasing it. Purchase it now,
Yes.
get it
Yes.
off the shelves to allow our local businesses, any business, to
To clear up their
rethink,
supply chains.
to
Yeah.
clear up their supply
Yeah.
chain, find new vendors. A lot of businesses are now seeking different distribution channels, different
Okay.
suppliers, looking at more Canadian focus and content.
Well,
And
and that's
so
that's as easy as somebody saying going into a shop and a store and saying, "Look, it's clear you're Victoria based. I understand you may have some American product on there. I'm going to buy it, but I'm
yeah,
going to support you. I'm going to
yeah,
support you because that's what we're going to do now. We're
That's
Team
right.
Canada, and that's how we're going to do. That's how we're going to treat each other and treat businesses.
That's right.
Perfect.
That's right. And you're allowing them to make that change, right? Let's get this stuff off the shelves and look at what are our options. Because if we take it in, it's a 30-day habit and we start to make those changes so that every time we go to shop, or even if we just did 10% more, the numbers are astronomical of the impact on a local community if
Wow,
each of us spent 10% more locally.
that's
And
fantastic.
so is it a little bit more effort? Sure. It's you have
Totally
to
worth it. Totally worth it.
absolutely,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Absolutely. So now is the time. So you got 30 days. So when you're going into locally owned businesses, ask thoughtful questions, right? Where is it manufactured? Oh, because remember, things can be distributed through the United States, but that's maybe not necessarily where they were made.
yeah,
There may be maybe they're being made in Canada under a different label. Like this is not as easy as saying you're going to boycott something with a flag of a country that right at the moment we're a bit annoyed with.
yeah,
The reality is that we have become very dependent on other countries, one in particular, and now's the time for us to say, you know what, pretty cool place to live. Yeah, we got our issues. But, and by the way, we're going to be just fine. And you have made a major error in picking on us.
yeah. Well, we are absolutely not going to become the 51st state, and we're going to support local businesses, and we're going to support people like you, Mary Lou, who are working very hard to promote that vision and to promote local business. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, John. I appreciate it.